Hello and welcome back to the David67 Celtic News YouTube channel. Obviously, a very delighted, happy, ecstatic David67 after yesterday's thumping, gubbing, drubbing, whatever you want to call it, victory over Rangers 3-0. Could have been 5-6-7-0. Although, according to the Rangers manager Philippe Clement, it was actually 3-3 was the fair result for yesterday's game. Not quite sure where Philippe Clement is seeing why a couple of good saves by Kasper Schmeichel, a rather poor header that missed the goal by quite a big distance, justifies Rangers being given 3 goals. By that token, Celtic would be worth half a dozen goals up to 11 or 12 if it solely goes on having shots in or near the goal. Just to start the video, I thought it might be fun just to show the 4 goals from yesterday's match. Only 3 were given because Nicholas Kuhn was about a millimetre offside. I, at that point, was a little bit angry that the goal had been disallowed because on first view it looked onside, and if you move the ball back a frame or two on Callum McGregor's foot, I'm sure Nicholas Kuhn would have been just onside. However, in the end it didn't particularly matter because we scored 3 very good goals after that, and pretty much John Beaton and Andrew Dallas were kept out of the game. And to be fair, there was no controversy really in the game. A few possible penalties for Celtic, probably all referees call. Just thought, pop in those 4/3 goals, and then we'll crack on with what I thought of the players, the game, the goals, some ratings, some stats. So, through 3 super goals, we could have had 3, 4, 5 more. And Kasper Schmeichel did make a couple of nice saves towards the end of the game. And in the end, a thumping, thrashing 3-0 victory puts us 5 points ahead after just 4 games. And from the reaction of the Rangers players and the Rangers fans, they do seem rather demoralised and dispirited and deflated and lots of other D words. So before we crack on with the wee look back at the game, the stats, etc., just a wee quick suggestion, reminder to click that subscribe button if you're not yet subscribed. Getting awfully close to my 1,000 target. It'd be lovely to get that to that level by the time of the Champions League match in 2 and a bit weeks' time away. But I am immensely grateful for all those who view and subscribe to the channel. So just click the subscribe button if you like the channel, like the videos, like the variety on the channel. Do click that like button if you like the video, and comment section open for pleasant, polite debating points, discussions, thoughts regarding the game, the players, your own ratings for the players, and any other Celtic issues. So Celtic won 3-0. Very convincing win. To be fair, Rangers did come out the first 5-10 minutes and put Celtic under quite a lot of pressure. Celtic seemed quite happy just to pass the ball around. Rangers tried to press the ball. A few times they did get some half chances. Desser's shot was a very easy save for Kasper Schmeichel. Looked like it probably would have been given offside even had it gone in. Matondo did get round the back of the defence for a header, but it missed the goal quite considerably. Then in the 10th minute, a bit of intricate, quick passing around our 18-yard box. Ball got out to Hatate. Flick pass onto McGregor. Brilliant pass to Kuhn on the halfway line. Kuhn broke down, crossed the ball beautifully for Kyogo, who was keeping himself onside. Kyogo swept it away. Tons and tons and tons and tons of cheering. A minute or so later, the dreaded commentary says, well, I think it's going to be given offside, and then we see the pictures, and by maybe a millimetre or two on the picture shown for the computer, it was offside. And so cue lots of swearing and anger and mumbling under my breath, and then we cracked on. Celtic, from that point, I thought, were 100% on top. Rangers teams seemed to completely give up. No battling, no fight, and it was a thoroughly dispiriting performance, I think, by the Rangers players, for the Rangers fans. Celtic massively on top. We then got our first goal, 16th minute, lovely little triangular move from a quick throw-in. Alistair Johnson beat Matondo to the byline, wonderful pullback, and Dyson Maeda swept the ball underneath Jack Butland, 1-0 up. Celtic remained on top, with plenty of other good chances in the first half. Good chance for Rio Hatate at the back post. Good chance for Paulo Bernardo in added time at the end of the first half, which was very well saved by Jack Butland. But Celtic did get their second goal in the 39th minute, just after Rio Hatate had managed to miss at the back post. A couple of minutes later, in the 39th minute, very, very quick work by Greg Taylor, anticipating a pass from the Rangers midfield. He intercepted it on the halfway line, a couple of steps, wonderful pinpoint pass to Kyogo, who took the ball ahead, good 5-10 yards. The Rangers defence, not quite sure why, backed off and backed off, especially their Dutch centre-back Proper. Jack Butland was out of place, big gap to his left, and Kyogo, a wonderful hard hit pass finish into the bottom corner. Jack Butland frantically scrambling across his goal, 2-0 up. As I say, Paulo Bernardo just a few seconds before half time could have and probably should have made it 3-0. We went into half time. I think quite a lot of folk thought that Rangers might come out and be full of aggression, attack, vigour, and a desire to fight their way back into the game. That seemed to last them a minute or two, and then Celtic back on top. Wonderful through pass for Kyogo to run onto by Rio Hitati. And Kyogo slightly disappointingly chipped the ball high and wide, and they really should have gone 3-0 up. And remembering the Hitati and Bernardo misses in the later part of the first half, it could well have been 5-0 by that point. However, in the 74th minute, our captain, Callum McGregor, received the ball out on the right wing area, cut inside, moved across the goal, and then a wonderful sweeping 25-yarder into Butland's top right corner. Did take a slight deflection. I think the ball was net bound anyway. I don't think Butland would have saved it, but the deflection did slightly take it further away from Butland, and Celtic 3-0 up. Rangers did get a couple of wee chances late on. Kasper Schmeichel made a very good save from a Tavernier shot at the back post, and in what were the dying embers of the game, McCausland had a good chance from about 9-10 yards, but Kasper Schmeichel saved it brilliantly. So all in all, brilliant game for Celtic, brilliant result for Celtic. Demoralising, deflating, dispiriting result and performance for the Rangers team, although according to Philippe Clement, they deserved a 3-3 draw out of the game. Celtic had 53% of the possession to Rangers 47. We had 14 shots to their 13. We had 4 on target, and so did they. 5 off targets by Celtic, 5 off targets by Rangers. 5 block shots for Celtic, 4 block shots for Rangers. 31-28 for touches in the box. We dominated aerially with 13 aerial duel wins for Celtic to 4 by Rangers. Corners were 7-4, and saves were 4-2, mostly because Jack Butland let all those shots on target into his net, apart from a couple of good saves. So the stats not quite so dominating as the game appeared. I think a lot of Rangers shots and chances were pretty half chances. As I said, there was a good save by Schmeichel from Tavernier and a very good save by Schmeichel from McCausland. But Rangers, I don't think, were terribly much of a threat once we got through that first 5 minutes. And so, as I usually do after any of our games, I've given the 15 players, as it was in this case, rating for the game. Starting with in goals, Kasper Schmeichel, gave him a 7.5. Thought it was a good performance by Kasper Schmeichel. Did control his box very well. We do look a lot safer with high balls, corners, free kicks into the box than we used to do. He didn't have terribly much to do for about 70 minutes after Matondo's misheader, but then did get down very well to save from James Tavernier and did make that very good last minute save in added time from McCausland. So 7.5 for Kasper Schmeichel. I've given 7.5 to Cameron Carter-Vickers and Greg Taylor. Both did really well, defended very well. Greg Taylor very rarely beaten down his wing. He had a wonderful pass for the second goal for Kyogo. And so we're giving Greg Taylor 7.5. Cameron Carter-Vickers, much the same thing. Defended well, rarely let Dessers have a sniff at the ball, controlled everything. Some nice tackles, some nice distribution. However, 7.5 for Carter-Vickers. I've given 8.5 for Alistair Johnson. I thought he defended very well. Again, Rangers, very little success down his wing. Alistair Johnson, as he does so well, got into the midfield and the final third very well. Overlapped several times. Lots of times he got to the byline, lovely crosses, passes back, as was the case for the first goal by Maeda, and shortly after, around the 36th, 37th minute, it was his cross from the right that was half blocked in the middle and then knocked out by, I think it was Kuhn to Rio Hatate at the back post, and Rio Hatate managed to hit the ball right across the goal from one side to the other and missed the far post. Alistair Johnson, full of enthusiasm, full of desire to win, massive winning mentality and attitude. So 8.5 for Alistair Johnson, and I've given 8.5 to Liam Scales as well. I think it was Liam Scales' best game of the season by far. I thought he defended very well. He was an attacking threat in the other box. He looked very, very assured. He and Greg Taylor actually did a good job on the left-hand side of the defence, which may well give Brendan Rodgers a wee bit of a headache, because obviously we've brought in Austin Trusty to be the left centre-back, and we've brought in Alex Valley to be the left-back. However, well done, Liam Scales. I think a lot of you who watch the channel didn't think you'd hear the day where I say, well done, Liam Scales, but I thought he played really, really well, and he was one of my 8.5s for the game yesterday. Given 7.5 for both Paulo Bernardo and Rio Hatate. I thought they both had a very good game. Paulo Bernardo, much, much better than his first game of the season. He got himself really involved. He was all over the pitch. Some nice tackles, some nice passes, some nice interceptions. Could well have scored a goal in added time in the first half. And it possibly was a wee bit unfair that he got taken off to allow Arnie Engels on halfway through the second half, as I think Paulo Bernardo showed that he's worth every penny of what we've spent on him so far from Benfica. So well done to Paulo Bernardo. Rio Hatate, I thought he was again all over the place. Lots of good passes, interceptions, really good along with Callum McGregor at keeping attacks going. Very good at finding the wide players, finding the ball through to Kyogo. Some lovely passes to Kyogo and to the wide players. And did have that really good chance at the back post that probably should have been our second goal of the afternoon. Given 8.5 to Callum McGregor. Brilliant goal, some lovely passes, great captaincy, organises the team so well. All over the pitch, kind of was a pivot. Rangers, it looked like we had three men trying to mark him. None of them could stop him. And then he got the reward in the end with a lovely 25-yarder into the top corner. So 8.5 for Callum McGregor. Again, a good mark for Nicholas Coombs, 7.5. Worked very well down the wing, cut inside nicely. He was involved with the disallowed goal. He set up Rio Hatate at the back post. He and Johnston and McGregor and Hatate and Kyogo worked really well together. Again, a super duper game by Nicholas Kuhn. I've given 8 to Kyogo, scored a lovely goal. Could well have scored another couple of goals. Really do wish he had finished that wonderful pass from Hatate and chipped it over Butland into the net rather than chipped it over Butland slightly high and wide. But 8 for Kyogo, and I thought he played with lots of energy, lots of vigour, and gave the Rangers back 4 a real nightmare. I've given 8.5 and man of the match to Dyson Maeda. In essence, I think Callum McGregor and Dyson Maeda are joint men of the match, but one of them has to be given the award. So given Dyson Maeda 8.5 and man of the match. He completely terrorised James Tavernier again. Tavernier just can't defend. Maeda, there's always tons and tons and tons of space behind Tavernier, even if they have Dujong Sterling and Diamandi and Connor Barron all doubling back and trying to guard and protect Tavernier. He's a complete liability in the Rangers' defensive third. He's a pretty good player in midfield. He's a pretty good player when he gets into the final third. He's obviously a very good dead ball taker, corners, free kicks, penalties, etc. But I think he's a liability at right back, and not that I want to give Felipe Calamonte advice. it may be time for him to drop his captain and try either Sterling or their young right back in his place. Substitutes were a wee bit disappointing. Arnie Engels came on with about half an hour to go, did look energetic, was kind of, again, in the defensive third, was in the attacking third, and worked in midfield. I've given him 6.5, much the same Luke McCowan. He came on that wee bit later in the game. Again, he looked very active, trying to get himself involved, some nice passes, some nice breaking up play. 6.5 for him. Gave 6.5 for James Forrest on his 500th appearance. He had a couple of nice runs. He did have a nice interchange 1-2 where he did have a shot blocked. I was thinking, oh, this would be the absolute dream celebration for his 500th game. He comes on and a couple of minutes later gets a run across the box and a curling shot into the far corner. However, on this occasion, a shot was blocked. Thereafter, he did have a few good contributions, but not quite up to the standard he's had in his previous starts. And I think it can be quite difficult coming on when the game was, in essence, all done and dusted. And gave Adam Ida 6 out of 10. Bit disappointed. He didn't really seem to get himself involved. I don't really recall him having a proper chance after he came on. Didn't look nearly as busy or active or forward thinking as Kyogo had done. You may well have different thoughts regarding some of the analysis and the ratings, and always delighted to hear what your own thoughts are. Just one wee postscript to the game. It was disappointing to see Cameron Carter-Vickers leaving Celtic Park with a moon boot on. He was caught a wee bit late, I think, by Dessers or one of the other Rangers players. It did look like he'd injured his ankle or heel or so on. I'm hopeful that this is just a precaution. We are now going into the international break, so it does give him a couple of weeks to get fully fit again, and it will also give quite a few of our players a wee bit of a rest. Some of them will be away on international duty, and some of them will be staying at the club. So that just about finishes things off for today. Just a wee request, reminder, or suggestion at the end, just to click that subscribe button if you're new to the channel and like the channel. Keep the numbers pushing towards 1,000. That would be brilliant. If you like the video, please do click that like button. It helps YouTube think this is a good video to send to other people. And comment section open for pleasant, polite debate, discussions, thoughts regarding the game, the ratings, the analysis, and your own thoughts about Celtic at the moment. So until the next video, goodbye and hail, hail.